Hey, said I would make a video for this weekend because most people won't read what I said. So just want to give a quick run through the weekend, okay? So tomorrow, obviously, we're all heading to Khan, hopefully arriving down around 5, 6 p.m. There's no panic with getting down, okay? Everyone has like a run tomorrow anyway. So if you need to do it in Abu Dhabi, that's okay. If you get down to Khan in time, work away and we'll get it done down there. We'll try and gather together around like 6:30, 7 p.m. For some dinner. And we'll also run through Saturday, especially the morning cycle, okay? So the biggest probably one for me this weekend is Saturday cycle, okay? We're probably going to have 3 groups. We'll have 2 support cars, okay? So that beginner group, it's beginner group, but it's not really the beginners. Anyone with a road bike is going to go for it, okay? I've made it to a 20-kilometer loop, okay? The reason I want to do a 20-kilometer loop is because we have some different ranges and abilities in that group, okay? So we have some people who are like really, really good, strong cyclists who've been training all summer, and 20 kilometers might be a bit too little. And we have some people who are just coming back from illnesses. Some people have been training too much, and maybe 20 kilometers will be enough, okay? So the reason and the thought process behind that is that I want to get everyone around safely, number 1. Number 2, I want to make sure everyone's getting some training in. And number 3 is it's probably best where we can control everything, okay? So if anything happens, if we have a puncture, if someone gets tired or anything, it's always going to be in a 20-kilometer loop, okay? Probably most of us in that group, in the 20-kilometer group, probably won't be able to change a tire and stuff like this, okay? Which is quite important when we're going out into the open road, especially with just one support car, and it might have like 8 riders, okay? Obviously, if one person drops off, that means the support car has to drop off, okay? So at least in that 20-kilometer loop, if one person drops off, they need to get into that support car. The car is back on, okay? And it's quite controlled. On the cycle, okay, what we'll do is in that 20-kilometer group, we will get the stronger guys to the front, okay? So they'll do like the share work. Remember, it doesn't matter if you're out the front or behind, okay? Whoever is out the front, yeah, they're out the front, but maybe they're that bit stronger, okay? So maybe if their like heart rate is hitting like 160 and you're behind them, you're still hitting 160, okay? You're still working just as hard as they are, okay? Sometimes we're like, oh, we need to be out in front, we need to be showing we're the strongest, but let's just think of like, okay, if I'm behind that person and I'm hitting a 160 heart rate, if I go to the front, I go to 180 heart rate, that means I will just end my cycle, okay? Because once we go over like that 160 heart rate, for most of us, it's only counting down the minutes until we're done, okay? So the main goal is like not to smash ourselves and to not have to be the hero, say per se, but like just know where I am. If I'm out in front, my heart rate's starting to hit 170, just say, okay, let's rotate. The best thing we'll do is like just go like for 2-3 minute pulls and then rotate, okay? As well, a big thing is, right, the group is going to be rolling at 30 kilometers per hour, okay? Between 30 and 33, okay? If you're dropping off, unfortunately, it means the group won't be waiting, okay? We'll try and encourage like that 30 to 33 kilometers. Everyone should be able for that, okay? It's 20 kilometers. And then you can jump off, or else there always is that option of the support car, okay? The big thing is I don't want like say 10 people waiting for one. So we'll try and get that way, okay? We'll try and get everyone some good quality training this week. The intermediate and advanced group, okay, we're going to have 1 support car for you. So it means like if you are that bit stronger and you're going to be out in front, okay, that you might not have a support car with you directly, so make sure you have your lights on, okay, you have your route, and mostly that you're like a really confident rider, okay? If you want a support car, that's perfectly fine. Just stay back with the kind of guys who are with that support car, okay? So it's completely up to you. If you want to go out ahead, if the group is a small bit too slow for you, go ahead, but just be aware that you will not have a support car, okay? That support car will stay with the bulk of the intermediate group, okay? Likewise, if you're falling off on the intermediate group, you're better off getting into the support car if you're not self-efficient, okay? It's probably going to be the hardest session of the weekend, okay, to like get everyone around, make sure everyone's having a good time, okay? So bear with us. We can only manage as much as we can, okay? Ideally, we'd have like closed rows like here, We get everyone around, or we'll be indoors, but sometimes we need to go outdoors, okay? And unfortunately, we only have them 2 support cars, okay? But we do have 2 support cars, which is like a really, really good thing, okay? Many groups go down there with none, and at least we have water, we have food, we have everything, okay? Now, there will be a stop on both of them, okay? So you're not going out for the whole time. The beginner group will probably get a stop at 40k, okay? So you'll do 2 laps, stop off at the hotel for 5-10 minutes, and then go again, okay? And the intermediate to advanced group, probably stopping at the closest ADNOC or similar petrol station past halfway, okay? So once you see one, then pull in 5-10 minutes and go again. After that session, we're probably like a lot more smooth sailing, okay? So that evening we will go for a swim. So we'll go for an open water swim at 4 p.m. Just kind of like building up our shoulders into the sea, seeing what it's like to do open water. We'll have a chat about sighting, okay? See the difference between open water and pool swimming, okay? And just like kind of learning like what I'm looking for, how I keep going forward in the sea. It might sound really, really easy, but like to swim in a straight line can be quite a challenge in the sea. So we'll like have a chat about that as well, okay? We'll do some strength and conditioning that day as well, and then we will go for dinner, which would be good. After dinner, we'll put on the Ironman World Championships. They start Saturday, and we'll also have a chat about like nutrition, about fueling, and everything like that, okay? Sunday morning, then we have a nice run, okay? So we'll use the Corniche and Culfercan. We have like a nice 7-kilometer run that the Oceania Triathlon uses, okay? So we can use that route. It'll be really good for anyone racing that later on in the year. So 7-kilometer loop. We have like from say 90 minutes to 2 hours there, and at least we'll be able to pass each other, okay? That one's a lot more controlled, a lot more easy for us to do, okay? We'll set up an aid station at the Oceania Hotel where we'll have water, okay, and some food and stuff like that. Then after that, we'll come back, we'll do some more strength and conditioning. We'll have breakfast, we'll do some strength and conditioning, and then we will have another chat just about anything you kind of want to chat about as well, okay? Any questions you have, and we can try our best to answer, okay? What I was going to say as well is it's going to be a weekend. It's not like we don't want to be down there as like Sergeant Major. Just have an absolutely great time. Do whatever you want as well, you know, like if you're on the cycle and if you're confident and you're like, hey, I might go off for 80k, that's perfectly fine as well, okay? But just from a safety point of view, from a Sláinte point of view, we just have them 2 support cars with the 20-kilometer loop and the 130-kilometer loop, okay? But if you want to go further, that's perfectly fine. It's completely up to you, okay? We're all grown-ups, so make your own decisions that way as well, okay? We'll try and like stay around as a team as much as we can, okay? Hang out together, and yeah, just have a really good time together. The Kona World Championships are on Saturday night. We'll try and watch that for a while. Ireland are playing the All Blacks. It's at 11 p.m. World Cup quarter-final, but maybe we might stay up for it. We'll see. And yeah, any questions, make sure to get them out of the way now. And have a ball.